Every single dude that I knew that was about it in business, they were disciplined, right? Disciplined. Now this one right here is spooky because I met a lot of men who were very successful financially, and they thought because they had money they didn't have to be disciplined, and they end up losing everything. They end up losing everything. They weren't disciplined, right? They became alcoholics, right? Sex addicts, right? Didn't move with integrity. That's the one thing, man, I love about, man, y'all, man, for real. I'm telling y'all got to get with the right crew. When y'all hear Maul talk about getting up and working out, it don't got nothing, man, I promise y'all. It don't have nothing to do with, like, I ain't following no man because he got muscles. I'm following Maul because he got muscles that come from discipline. Like, I promise you, you call Maul, like, yo, Maul, the podcast, you heard the podcast. Yo, Maul, we want you to go see this. They try to, you know what I'm saying, get Maul to see his billboard that's out there. Trying to trick Maul. Maul like, I can't do it. They like, we need you to come right now. He like, this is my workout time. Whatever you trying to show me, work out. I got to work out. I'm trying to get on this scale and be the same height, the same weight I was when I was coming out of college. That's discipline. I was like, you on a scale when? He's like, every day. I was like, that's my problem. How you been on the scale? How you been on the scale? About 5 years. I'm just guessing. I'm 189. You know what I'm saying? See, I feel 189. You know what I'm saying? The way my pants fit. 189. All right, let's go. Here's where me and my wife get into it. So my wife was like, first she said, you know, you need more structure. I was like, in my company, I don't need no more structure. Structure ain't the problem. I can go show you a whole bunch of structure. I said, I got it, sweetheart. I'm not willing to make the adjustment, but I don't run the type of company where I want to get up every day and, what's the word I'm looking for? See, like I don't want to get up every day and be nobody's boss. Does that make sense? Like I don't want to get up and micromanage nobody, right? So the challenge is, at some point, you're going to have to learn to be disciplined. You're going to have to learn, if you say you're going to wake up at 8 o'clock, you're going to get up at 8 o'clock, no matter how you feel. Like you got to be disciplined. And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. I want to make sure y'all catch that. If you're running a business and it's 365, then 365. You got to wake up every day and you got to go get it. Why? Because if you don't hunt, you don't eat. So here's the deal. If you hunted in January and you got enough food for January, you don't get to chill February. You got to get up in February and go get enough food. And so what a lot of us do, we aren't disciplined. Like we're not self-motivated. We're not self-regulated. We need outside people to push us. And that's not how the Creator made us. He didn't make us for all other people to be over us. So here's what I told my wife. Sweetheart, if another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, why can't you pretend like if you need another human, be the human. You be that human. If you need somebody to tell you you need to lose 100 pounds, be your own voice to tell yourself you need to. Don't go pay nobody $50,000 to lose weight when you can do it yourself. And I'm not saying don't get a person, but at some point you got to cut that person off. Why? Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. The next level is not something that's far away. Like Maul said, the next level is execution is not something that we do, is something that we are. And most of us aren't disciplined. It's like you just go, like you drink, so you just go, you can't tell yourself, you know what, I'm not mad at you drink, but you got to drink during the weekday. Like you drinking in the morning before you go to work. He gone now. He's no longer with us. You drinking in the afternoon, you drinking at night. Like I'm feeling you like to drink, but like all day, every day, the weekend, the weekday, and some of you, there are things you like, you have absolutely no control. You are like a slave to you. You are a slave to your personality. You are a slave to some of your vices. You are a slave to some of the things you like. You are a slave. You have absolutely no control. And what I'm telling you is the reason why we fast from time to time is not that we have to fast, but at some point you got to fast because you got to tell the flesh who's in control. I'm in control. You're not in control. I know you don't want to wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. We trying to eat. There's a certain lifestyle we want. You think I want to get up at 3 o'clock? I put up a video. Nikki, I don't know what happened. I miscommunicated with Nikki this morning. I'm supposed to do the videos at 3, or either I give them to Nikki and then she'll do them. But some kind of way, I don't know. I must have went to sleep, woke up. I didn't know what time it was. So I sent Nikki what I wanted to say, and I looked this morning, I sent it at 12 o'clock at night, midnight. I thought I sent it like 10:30, 11. So when I got up, it was like 3 something our time. And I was like, shoot, I ain't put my video up. And I put the video up, and I heard something in the back of my mind say, oh, it's okay, you on vacation. I said, what? Oh, it's okay, they'll understand. I said, little man who getting up at 3 to read my stuff because he got somewhere to go, he don't know that I'm on vacation. He don't know that I'm here. That don't got nothing to do with his life. He don't know I'm in Mexico. I ain't posting no video. He don't have the slightest idea. He just know wherever he live in the world, at my 3 o'clock, he uses that stuff to do what he's supposed to do, and he's sitting there waiting. And an hour go by, he like, I guess he ain't posting today. Listen to me, I was so late posting, I almost didn't want to post because I was embarrassed. I'm like, I'm about an hour and 50 minutes, 2 minutes off. 2 hours off. God said, post it anyway. That's discipline. Well, I don't got to post no videos. I'm way past posting videos. Posting videos was something we did to blow up. We blew up. I don't got to post videos. I don't post videos to get motivated. I don't post videos to get inspired. I post videos to be disciplined. Get your butt up and post a video. Either you post it the night before to Nikki, and she does it, or when you get up at 3 o'clock and you do it. That's discipline. There's a certain time frame that I'm supposed to eat and certain things I'm supposed to eat and then not eat after a certain time. I'm making money. I can eat whatever I want, but I'm trying to discipline myself because there was a time I did not discipline myself. You are not where you want to be, not because you need any more gifts. You don't need nothing else. You need to discipline yourself. You need to learn to tell you no. You keep talking about everybody else you can't tell no. You can't tell you no. You can't tell you stop. You can't tell you quit. You can't tell you nothing. You got to get to a point where you're disciplined. And what separates the talented, if everybody's talented, if everybody's equally gifted, what separates us is discipline. I got to clear my mind of some stuff, but when I get up there, I got to do what I got to do. Why? Because success is not a failing. It's a mindset. I need you to clear your mind of every single thing that's in it that's stopping you from being successful. The first one is what everybody else thinks. 1. Here's what I need y'all to do for me. I only need you to worry about what one person thinks. Right? I know this is going to blow some of y'all mind. But why is it that your parents, great human beings, great character, they're not entrepreneurs? How is it that they can make you feel bad about something that you're doing that they know absolutely nothing about? No, you think I'm playing when I say 1. I mean it. You got to be on one accord. So whatever the 10 principles or the 20 principles or the 30 principles, if you're not going to do all the principles that he's doing, if you're not going to have mindset he has, you're not going to be able to get the stuff. You're not going to be able to do you can't do 50-50. It's not a 50-50 split. You can't decide I'm going to do this part, but I'm not going to do this part. Does that make sense? That's what I mean about being on one accord. No, when I say one accord, I mean, if I get slapped right here, I got to let you slap me over there. I'm from Detroit, Chicago originally. I wasn't raised like that. But once I decided that the good book was going to be my guide, if you smack me here and tell me, let me smack you there. It's no 50-50. It's not you smack me here, but no, I don't follow this part. I don't do this part. Like, okay, I'm good, but not this part. You ain't gonna let nobody smack me. They smack me, I'm smacking them back. It's not eye for an eye too. That's not what it is. You better hear what I'm saying. I don't care how much money I make. The good book says I'm supposed to return the tithe. So I return the tithe. Then I bless the church with a little bit more money. Then I bless other. It's not a 50-50. I don't get to choose which parts I like and which parts I don't. And some of you are not successful because you pick it and choose it. All right, I'm going to say it again. It's saying like you didn't really like that part. I'm going to say it one more time. Some of you are not successful, not because you can't do this business. Number 1, you're listening to people who have no business in your ears. Stop. It works. It works. High school dropout. America. It works if you work it. You can have and be and do whatever you want. I told you, I got a coach. I had to pay to learn how to listen. Okay, you missed that one. That's a bonus. No, you missed that. I had to get a coach to teach me to stop going this way and stop going this way and follow what I'm told. Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. I had to get, how many of you, honestly, you don't have a coach? Raise your hand. Be honest. You don't have a coach. Be honest. Raise your hand. You don't have a coach. You need a coach to teach you how to get people out your ear. You need a coach to teach you how to go even when you don't feel like going. You need a coach to make you wake up and think about your family. You need a coach to help you get, please listen to me. Nothing is impossible. That's the mindset. Write this down. I need to do something serious about my limiting beliefs. I want you to take this word out of your vocabulary. I shouldn't even say it, but some of you have it, so I have to say it. Write it down on your phone, please. I need you to replace fear with faith. No more fear. Jim Rohn said, all of us, we got the same ending. We're going to die. So if you know you're going to die, why are you playing it safe? Like if you know you're going to die, why are you listening to other people tell you about your life? If you're going to die, why don't you live your own life? Man, that's what I loved about my grandma. She drove until she was 89 years old. She died in her own home. She didn't die nowhere else. My grandma lived her life on her terms. My grandma got her hair done every 2 weeks. She still was getting her hair done. She was still going and getting massaged. She was still going to get manicure and pedicure. With the little money she had, she lived life on her terms. And guess what? There were some people in my family that didn't like the fact that she lived life on her terms and didn't care what they thought. But you know what? She died on her terms. You're going to die anyway. Don't die on your grandma's terms. You're going to die anyway. Don't die on your friend's terms. You're going to die anyway. Don't die on your parents' terms. If you're going to die, die on your own terms. Come on, you're not ready. So my boy Toad was talking to my wife. In fact, they was having their first child. And so we was going through like the nursery, and Toad and his wife was like, yo, we like that. Oh, that one right there. Oh, that's strong. Cause we got a little money and we had kids. So we always want to be the ones, you know what I'm saying? Let everybody else buy the diapers and the little onesies. You feel me? Let them get the onesies, all the diaper stuff. We'll get the big items. So we going through it and Toad like, yo, we want that one. And so we bought this stroller. I'm talking about that joker look like a Mercedes Benz. They're having a second child. My wife was like, do y'all need a double stroller? Like with the one we bought you, can't you put another hookup on? Toad was like, we never used it. So what you mean you never used it? They was like, we didn't realize when y'all bought it for us, we didn't realize it was too big for the vehicle we have. You didn't hear what I just said? They looking on the hookup like we want the most expensive one. We want the best one. I ain't tripping like I'll get it for you. But they never used it. Why? Because the vehicle they have is not prepared size-wise for the one we bought. The car too doggone small. They weren't ready for it. They wanted it, but they didn't prepare for it. There are those of you talking about you want $10 million. How in the world are you going to get $10 million with the mindset you got right now? Most of you go to jail if you had 10 mil because you don't even know how to pay your taxes. You be in jail. Most of you going to jail because you're not structured or organized. You don't know how much you owe them. You know how much you ain't kept no records, no receipts. The government probably going to get more out of you than they're supposed to because you're not structured. You don't have the bank account set up right. Come on. I was working with a young lady. She can cook. I'm talking about cook her little butt off. She young. She desperate. She going through it. I was like, look, I'm going to take care of you. Like, I'm going to look out for you. So I was like, all right, I want to pay you. And so she's like, all right, Cash App. I said, Cash App? Cash App? We running a business. I can go to jail Cash Apping you this kind of money regularly. I was like, yo, just give me your bank account. She's like, I don't got a bank account. I'm like, you ain't got no bank account. How you starting a business without a bank account? Poverty mindset. Write it down. Some of you are not ready, and you're not ready, number 3, because you have a poverty mindset. You're not ready. You want wealth, but you still spend what you don't have. Let me tell y'all how I blew up. I tell people this all the time. This is how me and my wife blew up. We got to college. I never forget. My mother-in-law came up, told my wife, she's an only child. My mother-in-law's never been married. She went on a Ford lot
in Dearborn, Michigan. She told my wife she could have whatever car she wanted. My wife picked the weakest. My wife got they don't even make these no more. That's how bad it is. My wife got a Trio Tracer. I'm like, boo, you getting a tree? You know me, I'm broke. I got a broke mindset. My wife was the one that had a wealth mindset her whole life. I was broke. I'm on the lot like, yo, let's at least get a Mustang 5.0. I'm like, at least, boo, we had 4. Come on, boo, we can't get the Mustang 5.0? My wife was like, what? I said, your mom told you can have whatever you want, and you getting a Trio Tracer? She's like, but I'm gonna get the spoiler kit. I don't care what you get, it's a Trio Tracer. It's terrible. We can get a Lincoln, we can get a truck. We could have got a Bronco at that time, a Ford Mountaineer, an Explorer. I'm like, you getting a Trio Tracer? My wife said, listen here. My mom's getting the car, but she can't pay for it in cash. So if something ever happened to my mom and my mom can't pay the note, we have to get the type of car that just in case something happened to my mom, we can still afford it. Oh, y'all not here. You didn't hear nothing I just said. You didn't catch it. She said, we can't get what my mom can afford. If something happens to my mom and we got to pay the note, we have to get what we can afford. We have to get, if something happens to my mom and my mom lose her job, we have to be able to pay the note. So we can't get what we want. We have to get what we can afford. That's why most of you broke. You broke because you got a poverty mindset. You stretch your money. Listen to me. I try to explain to people, I'm not a multimillionaire because I made more money than most people. It's just what I did with my money versus what you did with your money. I ain't never won the lottery. Ain't nobody gave me no 100 grand. Ain't nobody ever gave me $50,000. Matter of fact, I don't remember the last time somebody gave me 5 grand. Nobody has ever just come up to me and given me $5,000 cash. Nobody. I'm not where I am because I've had more than you. I'm where I am because we both had the same amount, but what you did with yours versus what I did with mine is different. What I did with my credit versus what you did to yours. We had the same credit opportunity. You just blew yours out the frame. You have a poverty mindset. You stretch everything. And then boom, when it popped, you don't have nothing to. Then we moved to Huntsville, Alabama. We went to the cheapest. We got the cheapest doggone. I'm like, come on, sweetheart. We got an apartment that had roaches. My wife was like, it's all good. We're going to get some boric acid. We're going to put some sugar in the boric acid, shake that boy up, and we're going to put the boric acid around, and we're not going to have no roaches. I was like, but boo, everybody on campus that's doing it, they live off spark, man. She's like, we're not everybody on campus. And we don't have that kind of money. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's a mindset. You want to make $10 million to do what? What you going to do with the $10 million? Do you understand that when you get past a certain amount, if you're not going to give it away or if you're not going to be a blessing, it don't even make sense to make 10 million? Do you understand what the government will do to your money if you're making 10 million and you ain't blessing nobody? Do you understand how much of that 10 million they going to take? So number 3, one of the things you got to do is you got to go from a poverty mindset to a wealth mindset. You got to go from to a rich people aren't rich because they have more than you. Rich people are rich because they think different than you do. I'll say it one more time. Rich people aren't rich because of what they have. Rich people are rich because of what they do with what they have. Does that make sense? So say it with me. I'm going to change my mindset. Come on, I'm going to change my mindset. And wealth is going to run after me. Come on, wealth is going to run after me. Say, I'm an ATM machine. Come on, I'm an ATM machine. I produce money. Some of y'all saying, you laugh like, oh, E hilarious. E just making up stuff. I'm an ATM machine. Listen to me, I'm not even in America. I'm outside of the U.S. right now making money. I'm not even where I was born. I'm an ATM machine. I produce money. I don't borrow or ask for money. I produce money. My gift will make room for me. My gift will make room for me. I'm a producer, not a consumer. That's what I mean by when you have a wealth mentality or a poverty mentality. When you have a wealth mentality, you produce. When you have a poverty mentality, you consume. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to go slow. When you have a poverty mindset, you're constantly looking to take your money and buy something. Every time you get something, you're trying to buy. Somebody said, E.T., you ain't got a Bentley? What would I have a Bentley for? Why would I buy a vehicle that's worth $250,000 in America when I can't park it nowhere? Now, you might be good in London, I don't know. But where I'm from, in Michigan, if I had a $250,000 vehicle, I can't go to Walmart in it. I can't take it to the movie theater. The only place I can take it is to my house, and I don't even know if it'll be secure. I probably have to pay somebody to watch it. Get a different type of garage. Or the only time I could really have it is when I'm driving it somewhere. But as soon as I park it, it's a liability. I'm gonna say it again. I want to make sure I'm clear. What could I do with a $300,000 vehicle? If I go to my grandma's house, they're gonna steal it while I'm in her house. If I go to my mother-in-law's house, they're gonna steal it while I'm in the house. If I go to my mom's house, somebody might take, I'm not sure my mom lives in the suburbs, but somebody might see it and say, we're gonna take that. If I was in my mom's house and nobody took it, I would still be nervous and thinking about it the whole time I was eating. I could never rest if I had a $300,000 vehicle. Why? Because I don't live in a neighborhood where other people have it. I live in a working neighborhood. So I'm gonna take that $300,000 and put it in real estate. And I'm gonna watch it grow, and I'm gonna give it to my kids, and my kids' kids. Because I don't have a poverty mindset. I have a producer's mindset. Write down which one you are and be honest. And if you want to go 50-50 with me, 60-40, however you want to do it, write it down. But you need to be honest. You cannot fix what you don't. So you need to understand, people who are wealthy are not wealthy just because somebody gave them a bunch of money. Nobody gave me a bunch of money. I come from a working class. When I come to the bank, they always want to talk to me when I come to the bank. Why? Because the bank sees me as somebody, they like, ooh, not only do you put money in, you keep it in. So we need you. Why? Because we're going to take your money and make money off your money. So we need your money. Right? For real. I just got into it with the lady at the bank. I'm a producer. I got into it with her. I'm buying a house in San Diego. She's going to tell me, we're going to give you to you. You're going to give us a 20% down payment. I said, somebody off the street could come in and get a 20% down payment. I'm putting millions of dollars in your bank. Don't talk to me like that. Y'all think I'm playing. I went D on her. Don't talk to me like that. Don't play with me. The other lady was like, well, we want you to be a private client. I said, I'm about to be no private client. It looked like in this relationship, all y'all do is take. You want me to give y'all, you want me to guarantee some more of my money so y'all can keep treating me like this? I said, how dare you? I'll go somewhere else that I don't even bank and they'll give me 20%. The reason why you broke is because you have a consumer's mindset. And when you have a consumer's mindset, people can treat you any kind of way when your credit is bad. They treat you any kind of way because you treat yourself any kind of way. They look at your 400 credit score, 500 credit score, and they say, you ain't serious about your money. So because you disrespect you, I'm going to disrespect you. They look at your bank account and see that you stretching it. You got $5 a month, $100 a month, $200 a month. People treat people who desperate different than they treat people who have wealth.
Imagine that you're in a movie, and imagine the movie begins now, and you're the hero of the movie. What would that guy do? What would that guy do right now?
Yeah.
Because you are.
Purpose is you. We forget that. Every day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't?
Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen in life. Mm-hmm. Your parents are going to pass away, loved ones are going to die, your relationships are going to break down, your body is going to fail you, you're going to become ill or sick or destitute. Things are going to happen that you have no control over. Mm-hmm. And the only way that you can prepare yourself for unchosen suffering is with chosen suffering.
He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. the ghost of the ideas you never acted on, the ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
You can't wait for everything to be perfect to start living your life. Because that's what I've done. My whole life has been like that. Inside of me, it has been, as soon as it's all lined up, I'm going to show you myself. As soon as I've got it all looking the way I want, I'm going to show up for you. And for me. I'm never going to get to that where everything's okay, where everything looks a certain way. And in the meantime, I'm burning the best time I do have available. I'm burning that candle up. I'm burning this candle down, and I'm saying as soon as it gets bright enough or warm enough in here, I'm going to show up. But the candle's getting smaller.
Just get up. Move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better. And the next challenge, you're going to be more prepared for. And the next challenge after that, you're going to be even more prepared for. And you're going to fail, 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 and then you're going to win. And that's life. Life without those challenges, it's just existence. Don't just exist. Go live.
Your biggest enemy is you. My whole book is about you battling yourself. People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
The biggest advice I could give you right now, the biggest advice that anybody could give you, and this is not my words, Woody Allen told me this. He said, I said, Woody, what's the secret to success? He said, 85 to 90% of life is just showing up. Show up. If you show up, there's a chance something could happen.
Ask again. What would you do if you only had 6 months to live? What would you do if you only had 6 months to live? Who would you spend your time with? Where would you go? What would you want to do? What would be important? What would be unimportant? If you ask that question over and over again, you'll have a tendency to keep your life in balance. Everything in moderation.
Patience, the thing that goes beyond hustle and hard work. The discipline of patience, the thing that goes beyond hustle and hard work, right? Because we all talk about hustle, we talk about working hard, we talk about grinding, this, that, and the third, but nobody talks to you about patience. Nobody speaks about that patience. Because in the patience, that's where you're gonna make it or you're gonna break. The discipline of patience, right? Because when you're not patient, you can make a lot of mistakes, man. Like I told you, the quote said, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap. You judge each day by the seeds that you sow, right? When you sow a seed, you gotta be what? Oak, you gotta be patient.
And by purposefully choosing difficult things, you will armor yourself against that situation. Mm-hmm. It's still gonna suck. Mm-hmm. But think about how much more fragile you would be if you hadn't overcome all of this stuff. We spoke about this yesterday. Every single person that I know that is incredibly successful in a balanced way and has a good perspective on it elects to do very hard things regularly. It humbles them, it reminds them that they're just mortal, and it also means that if the entire mainstream media apparatus tries to come down on top of you, let's say, just as a hypothetical, let's say that occurs, that you can deal with it because you know that you've dealt with 1,000 disgusting kettlebell workouts followed by a cold tub or whatever.
If everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person.
If you want to change your life, you must change your ways. You must develop discipline. You must develop strength. It doesn't matter where you are in life. It really doesn't. Because the great thing about life is it's always your next move. Your next move that counts.
It's easy to give up.
Hell
it's
yeah.
Easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
This is intentional. Intentionally act like the person you want to become. Because when you intentionally act like the person you want to become, your brain sees you taking those actions, so your brain starts to change the way it relates to you. When your brain sees you high-fiving yourself in the mirror, it starts to go, oh, wait a minute. Steven loves himself. Steven's cheering for himself. We don't beat Steven up.
We have the ability to go in such a space if you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer. Your brain and your body, once connected together, can do anything. I was so driven, and I'm not going to say motivated because motivation's crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed.
So it's like if you were playing a video game and the way to win the game was to make the most successful character, right? You would have probably a really character-driven human being in terms of like they'd be patient, they'd be hardworking. Like you think about all these traits that they would have, right? They'd probably be tough emotionally, like etc. All right, cool. That's the character, and that's the person who's going to be really successful. We can all probably agree on that. Okay, how do you create someone who's patient? How do you create someone who's tough? How do you create someone who, right? So all of a sudden, if we had to then engineer the game in order to boost those points, we'd have to get them beat up a lot so that they could get tough. We'd have to make them wait a long time so they could become patient.
That's right.
And so to the point that you made about like these people who become really successful have these traits and also share the fact that they've been through all this shit. It's like, well, they got the trait from the shit, and then the trait was the ultimate output of the experience, and that trait then made them super successful that they didn't have earlier.
Hard work brings great rewards. This is a reminder of the hard work and dedication that I've put into everything that I've done. I'm not content because I know where I came from and I don't ever want to go back.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. But you can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about? What do you want?
I struggled my whole life, but I ran from it. So I started realizing, man, I got to start facing the struggle, and I got to be mentally strong for the struggle. So that's why I started coming up with, like, I'm training for life. Mentally, I'm training for life. I'm not training for, like, to lift 400 pounds. And I found out on my own pretty much, is that through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, and that's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental, like an armor for your mind. You start to armor your mind, because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. It's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. And that's how I started coming up. I just started being very uncomfortable. And now it's like just a way of life.
Nobody in its history of coaching had your level of work ethic. I mean, you hear so many guys tell stories about your work ethic. Yeah. What was really your work ethic like, and for how long did you stay disciplined?
Well, I mean, every day. Since 20 years. It was an everyday process, and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. Man, my vertical was a 40, it wasn't a 46 or a 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive. Right, so you got to figure out ways to strengthen them so your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast, right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. And but I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game and it just never changed.
Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better. If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, I can tell you this is not a good move. This is not a good move. Don't do that.
People need an excuse to perform. They need a race to be working toward, a goal, a holiday, a photo shoot, a wedding.
Right.
And that is what drives them forward. And, you know, that's not nothing. That's an incredibly powerful, potent motivator.
Yeah.
But
it's worked for a lot of people.
If you can manage to perform without that, that's real power. Because it means that not only are you going to choose your suffering, but you're going to continue to hit close to your maximum performance with no finish line, no crowd celebrating your completion, no glory, no nothing.
When you feel that pressure inside of you and it's very heavy, like weather that's very, heavy and thick, you're motivated, you feel it. I've got to get up in the morning. I've got to do this. I've got to accomplish this. When that pressure goes away and you don't feel any pressure in your life, you can do anything and there's no consequences for it. You'll just waste time. You'll waste years. You'll waste months. You'll never accomplish anything. You give somebody a deadline, right? They'll accomplish in 2 months what it would take somebody 2 years to do without a deadline. It's that necessity. It's that sense of there's a sword at my back. I've got to get it done. It makes you get things done. It gives you the energy. It's get rich or die trying, to quote somebody.
That no one is ever going to give a shit about you, even 1% as much as you have to give a shit about yourself. No one cares. No one cares about you if you're a man, ever. Everything is conditional. You don't get loved unconditionally, and that's a beautiful thing because that makes you strive to create your own value as a man. And the problem that men have is we all go from a time when everyone cares about us to a time no one does. Women don't lose it until they're maybe 45 and childless. Then they'll be like, oh, what the f*** is going on? Now she understands what it's like to become a 15, 16, 17-year-old man. Because we've gone through the stage. I remember my aunts and uncles, hey, little Tristan, I remember, they all cared about me back then. Then you get to 16, 17, 18, you're out in the cold world and you're like, no one gives a f***, do they? I can't pay my bills. I have no food. Nobody cares. Yeah, your mother and your father will care a little bit, but you have to care about them. So I'd say the duty of protection is the other way around once you become an adult. And you have to care about yourself. So the best advice I can give to anyone, especially the young men who are 13, 14, 15, who, are sitting in their room playing video games and their mother's still bringing them sandwiches, if she continues to care about you that much and you lean on it, you're going to be a nobody. And if she says, okay, you're 18 now, get the f*** out of my house, you're going to be a nobody until you make something of yourself. So the best advice every young man needs to hear is nobody gives a shit about you at all until you make them give a shit. People give a shit about me and Andrew now. Why? Would you have given a shit about me if I just stayed in my room playing video games from age 18 till now? No, you wouldn't know who the fuck I was.